Hello everyone, welcome to Wednesday Live. I'm on a little bit early just to make sure everyone gets checked in and give you a few minutes to get on here. I am so happy to be with you guys this morning. I've got my coffee moved out of the way so I don't accidentally dip my brush in it or spill it. So we are ready to go. Send me a notice, send me a comment, and tell me that you are on here with me. Shanti, hello. Claire is on, by the way. Claire is on, Kim is on, so that if you have any questions, you can just, and Phil is on, so you can say hi to him too. He loves being on here commenting. So I am going to share the other half of the new release, the new watercolor release. So I hope you guys are as excited about it as I am. It's a little different, but I do love it. And I will be going through all of these new watercolors in the coming weeks. So I will go through each set and give you guys options as to how to use these things. They're really, really fun. So I will be doing that. Hello to Melinda. Hello to Jennifer, Daphne, and Dawn. Hello to Kim in Canada. Maggie, hello. Sue, hello. Jeannie, hello. And Christy, hello, everyone. Thanks for watching, you guys. Thanks for joining me on these Wednesdays. Just so much fun. Diana, hello. Hi from Missouri. So remember, if you have any questions, I will get back on here. So I'm going to show you the new release, just like I did the last time. I'm going to go through a project with you. I had to pick one. It was kind of hard because I wanted to show you all of them, but I picked one set and we'll do a project with that one set. And then if there are any questions about any of the other sets, I will get back on here face to face so that I can answer any questions that you may have at the end. And then, like I said, Claire and Kim are both on here. Phil's on here. Kimberly, my daughter Kim in Canada, she says, I love your shirt. Thank you. Debbie Hedges, good morning. Oh, Debbie's on a work break. Okay, I better talk fast. And hey, that also reminds me, these are all archived, so they will stay on the Facebook group, and we are also now putting them on YouTube. So you will be able to go to YouTube and find these tutorials and find these lives back on there too. So while we're waiting, just a couple minutes, it's only 10:01 right now. So while we're waiting, let me just show those of you who may be new, let me just show you the release from last live, which was just a week ago. And by the way, let me also just say that these new 5 sets that I'm going to show you today, those are all in stock. So no back orders for those. We've got them all in. Hallelujah. We're so happy. We all did the happy dance, especially Claire in the shop. And we're so excited to get those in finally. So no back orders on those. They are all available right now. And we are also getting the others in. We have about half of them in right now from the previous release. So we expect those to be in about a week, hopefully less than a week. So let me just show you really quickly. Those of you who did not see the last live, what the first half of the release is. And I started out with these little, I call them simple scenes. What they are building blocks so that you can create these backgrounds. You can watch that first tutorial. I went through one of these so that you could kind of see how they work, but there are 4 of these. So 1, 2, this is kind of a basic one here. And in fact, I think it's called the basic scene. It is called the basic scene, and you can kind of see on the bottom how they work. And this one is, this one's called the Stone Creek. And you can see a little creek in there. Same idea. So it's helping you with perspective so that you can see where to place things as they go back into the background. It's just a little help for you. And then this one is a winding one. You can see the little village down below, which is also new, the little village. And with that, of course, new little tiny foliage sets. I mean, I love these so much. They work great. They're really tiny. So you want to probably, I mean, what I'm going to do with mine is probably permanently adhere them to a block so that I don't lose them because they're really tiny. And I'm going to use them a lot. So you can see on here kind of how they work in the background and create these you know, the definition of these little hills back here and the little trees in the front. So really fun. And also large trees. So big old oak tree, big trees that you can put in the front of your scene, which I will also show you. And like I said, I'm going to go through all of these, you guys. So you're going to see how to do all of these. Little village set. This, I love this because it sort of all goes together. So it's kind of a little scene that you can change out and change the look of really, really easily. And yet it looks kind of uniform. So really fun. Also, the farm scene that you can put with the village and the little cows in the background. You can see how those kind of go in the foreground there. Really, really fun and easy. You can see all the foliage in the background. I mean, these little scenes are all made to work together. And people. And people, the way that we stamp them is to add color to them down below. I did a little bit of that on the last tutorial, so the last Wednesday live, so you can check that out if you want to see that. But again, I will be going over all of those again. So if you guys are ready, I see people still checking in. Dawn, hello. Karen Kelly. Michelle, Hayden, Carol, love the farm scene. Thank you. People are loving the farm scene. I'm so glad I did that. I love the little fences on there. It might be my favorite part. The little cows, super cute. And I will be adding to those scenes because they are just so much fun. So, are you guys ready to see the other half of the watercolor release and do this project with me? So I'm going to switch my camera out now to switch it out the other direction. Okay, here we go. Be careful not to turn off my live. And let me make sure I get this positioned correctly. I want to make sure I have enough space here so that you can see my palette and see these. Okay, so here is the first set. Now these are dies only, and I love these. I think you guys are going to love making these. Now these are dies only, and I'm going to actually go through these today, just so that you can see how to use these. Let me just, is this too close for you guys here? Does this look too close? Does it look good? Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys how to do these little birdhouses. I love them so much, and they are so easy to do. You guys will be so shocked at how easy these are to do. I love them, and they are dies only, so there are no stamps in this set. These are dies only, and let me show you. This is how big they are. So you get two in here. You get the long, tall one, and then the little short, boxy one. Both really ornate and decorative and super, super easy to do. So I'm going to show you how to put those together. That is a die set. This one also is a die set. So this really pretty arbor that will also be really easy to use. I love this idea. I started it with the fences, and I've always wanted to develop it a little more, and I really think that these are going to be really, really fun to use. So in this set, these are dies only, and it does say that on the package. So if you're not quite sure, you can see that it says dies only. You get the arbor, you get the fence, and you get this little lamppost. So I will be going through this one too, so that you can see exactly how to put this together. But they're really, really easy. And you just want to cut the die out of masking paper and put it on there, and then just stamp away. Just so super easy. This is the Ornate Window Set. Now this is a little different because it is a stamp and die set, and it comes with two dies. And let me just show you what they look like. So here are the two dies, and basically what these do are create this little fence area in the front, so like a little planter area with the railing, and you get two different ones in here. So a simple square that shows on the package, and then you can also do this really neat kind of Parisian style with the other die. So let me just, I feel like this might be just a little bit close. Let me just zoom out just a little bit here, just so you can see that. So you do get these two dies in here. Now you can do it the same way. And like I said, I'm going to show you a couple of ways that you can do this, but I love this idea of the window, and I love the idea of something a little more three-dimensional on here. So there's a couple ways that you can use this. I will be, of course, doing a tutorial on it, but I love that you get the two dies. So this is a stamp and die set. So you get both of these in this set. Okay, now this also is a Stampin' Die set. And this is, these two are very similar to each other. And the whole concept behind these is that you want to be able to stamp behind and create this background. And it's really hard to mask these little areas off. So what I've done is I've added a die into the set so that you can cut that out of your masking paper, and you're going to stamp that image. You're going to cover it with the die, with the mask. And then you can stamp all this, all this garden and color and flowers and foliage all in here and behind here, and will protect the area of your gazebo and the area of your chair. So this has always been kind of a difficult thing for me to figure out how to do this for people, because you have to mask off. You don't want to stamp over the top of these lines, so you have to kind of find a way to mask that off. And you have to sort of stamp in between these areas. So I wanted to do something big like a gazebo like this. And I think this is going to make it really, really simple to have that mask that you can cut out. You just cut that mask out of masking paper, cover your image, and now you can stamp all over, get in between the railing like this and into all these little detailed areas. So same also, and you can see how big that die is. This one too, same idea. So you can do this chair, you can put tons of stuff behind it. You can stamp everything behind here because this whole area will be protected. So you don't have to worry about cutting a mask, and covering all these little areas, or using masking fluid, to cover this entire chair. So I think this is going to really make a difference. So here it is. You're going to stamp that image. Turn it right side out, right side up. You're going to stamp this image, you're going to create a mask, and you're going to cover it. So it's kind of an easy concept, but I think, you guys, it's going to be awesome. I really do. And I, of course, will be going through all of these tutorials to show you how. So this whole thing is really about stamps and dies, or dies only. And I kind of love this idea. It's totally different than the scene, which is what I released in the beginning. And I'm kind of torn because I just love doing both. And I love doing the backgrounds. And I feel like you guys, you're ready to do something a little more complex. And so the scenes are really good to kind of help you stretch a little bit and realize that you do have an artist in you. And then I also love these simple little container type images that are really quick and easy to do. They're bright, they're simple, you can use all of your flowers and foliages, and it just gives you another option. So I still love doing those. So now what I've used in here, here's what I've used, but honestly, to tell you the truth, I just grabbed, I got out my flowers and my foliages, and I just grabbed something, and I tried to grab something that I haven't used in a while, so I could kind of put something different. But honestly, you can use any flower, any foliage that you have, and it is going to work great. It is going to work great. I'm going to show you how to do it. So here's what I use, just, if for those of you who really want to know what I've used in this particular image, and I'm going to actually go through one of them. So I'll go through this one here. I use this foliage. I use these two. Let's see, what else did I use? I think I used these dots, but you can use any dots. I kind of think I grabbed the large ones. And then in this flower set, I think I grabbed this one here. But honestly, it really doesn't matter. And I use these two. I haven't used these in so long, and I thought I'm just going to grab these two and use them. But any type of flower is going to work. And then I'm pretty sure I use this. I'm pretty sure I use this vine in something. I usually always use this vine. So you can make it really simple. What you have to remember, just like the fences, is that you want to make sure you've got color around the areas of the die so that you can see it. That's really the only thing to remember. And if you don't fill it completely full with flowers and foliage, and by the way, I think a Southwest theme would be really, really fun too. I want to try that, putting some cactus in here, and I think that would be so cute. So I'm gonna try that too. I didn't think of it until about 5 minutes before I went on here. Otherwise, I would have made a sample for you guys. But I think that would be really, really fun. So hopefully one of you guys will try that. If you've got the Southwest, stamps, you know, when you get your set, give it a try and see if you can do that. So let's get going here. So what I've done is, let me show you what masking paper I've used. Now this is what we have online. This is Inkadingadoo brand. This is stamping mask paper. It's just, all it is a double sticky back, or a sticky back paper that has a film on the front that's protecting the sticky back. So you want to cut it on this side. You want to lay your die onto the white, so the front, and then you want to lay that onto your watercolor paper. So here's what I did, and this is what I do too. So I put this onto my watercolor paper, and then I take another piece and I just kind of rub it on like this to make sure it really sticks on here. And it usually does. Sometimes if you get a bunch of water on here, it might lift a little bit, but just push it down. Just push it down. Okay, so let's get going here on this little project. And I've got my palette here. And make sure I've got this in here. Got my water next to me and my markers. And you know what? Let me show you one more thing, you guys. Let me show you one more thing. So with this, here's the other idea I had with these, is that it would be really fun to place this back over the top. So you can see, sort of like the idea with that window, you can place this back on and create more of a 3D image. I love this idea. I think it's so cool. You can do it both ways. You can use it this way, and then you can cut another one. So I just cut this out of cardstock, heavyweight cardstock, and I just tied a little bow on it. And you could just glue this onto the top, and I think it would just be so cute to do that and give you another option to create this little three-dimensional. Here's the other one, how this one would look. And like I said, I just cut this out of white cardstock, but you could also, wouldn't it be cute cutting it out with something like a teal or maybe a gold? I think a gold, cutting it out of gold paper would be so cute, or silver, to create this little bird cage like that. So I do love that idea too. So you really have two options, two different ways that you can use these. So let me get everything lined up here again and move this out of the way. So we're going to start out with our bird cage, and we're just going to start out by putting our flowers in. And I'm just going to start out with the filler flower. This is the filler flower from the basic set. And I'm just going to, I've got a yellow, so I'm just going to use a bright yellow and just start out by stamping it in here. So just like this. And I'll just add a little more in here. And you're stamping right over the top of the die. Just right over the top, just wherever you kind of want to stamp it. You know, don't get, you know, concerned about, you know, where all of this is going. It really doesn't matter. You just start out by just kind of filling it in with color. So now I'm going to add some pink. So this is bright pink. And I'm just going to fill this in now. My daughter Kim loves yellow, and so I'm sure she's clapping right now because I'm using yellow. She is always telling me that I need to use more yellow, and I don't honestly, I don't like to clean my stamps, so that's why I don't use yellow very much, but I do love yellow. I really do. I love it. So I'm going to now add some foliage in here. Here's that little vine, and I'm just going to just add it in here like this, just a little bit, and maybe some in here, and down, maybe some hanging down below. I mean, you can just fill these up, you know, with as much as you want in here. And then I'm just going to fill in a little bit inside here too, just to get some green in here. And then I think I'll come in here now with my purple. So my little droopy flowers, the ones that kind of hang over. And so I'm going to ink these in two colors. So here's the little blooms, and then the stems. And I really just need the stems that are kind of dropping down. So I don't need to have too much of this. And I'm just going to stamp it in here, just like this, maybe one more right there. And then let's do the other side. Now with these, the best way to do it is to place it on your block. Let me hold this up so that it's hanging the way that you want it to. So in other words, if you try to place it on your block like this and try to stamp it and turn it, it's really hard to do that. So I find it's much easier to hang it the way that you want to see it. Place it on your block that way. And then you can just stamp it straight, you know, like this. I just think that's just a little easier to use it that way. So now here's the purple. I'm just gonna hang this on here, and you can see it's kind of hanging now, just like this. So let's, you know, we're gonna go back, once we take this die off, we're gonna go back and add a few little vines and flowers over the top. So you can see in here, there's a few little vines that are over the top of the birdhouse, the bird cage, so you can see that the vines and the flowers are kind of growing out of it. So it's not all behind that bird cage. Okay, so let's keep going here. I'm going to add just a few of these in here, just for a little detail. And maybe some in here. I mean, you guys, you can fill this up as much as you want to. It's really fun. And take out those flowers that you haven't used in a while and get those in here. So fun. Put one in here like that. And let's see, what else do I need in here? I think I'll hang one more of these little flowers down below. I think I'll just hang this down like that. That looks pretty good. Okay, so maybe just a little bit more green on the inside. So I'm just taking the vine here, this little vine, you know, from the basic set. And I'm just adding a little more green in here. Maybe a little bit in here too. Now I've purposely left this open so that I can show you how to add some color in there. And I'm just going to add some blue in here, like for a sky color. So if you don't want to fill the entire birdcage, I keep saying birdcage with florals, you can do a background behind here. So you just want to add some color in the background if you don't want to just fill it up with blooms. So let's get our brush out now. And you can see I just stamped the whole thing full, and now I'm going to add water to it. And pinch my brush off. And I'm going to start with the lightest areas. And I'm really kind of just, you know, making sure that color goes to the mask. Just kind of, you know, make sure it goes into the corners. That's the biggest thing to remember, is that you want to, you know, make sure that you're seeing the shape of that bird cage. Set it again. And make sure that you're getting that color in here. And it just all kind of comes together. It's just so fun. Such a fun little, you know, easy little card to do. And it really looks like you spent a lot of time painting it. It really does. You know, with all these mix of color in the background inside, you know, it doesn't have to be really detailed, because you're just kind of seeing that, mix and blend of color. So I'm kind of going to the pink now. And just kind of pulling all this color into these areas. Just kind of blending this all together. Take your time. It's so fun. It really is. And you could cut a bunch of these. You know, I always think about, you know, taking stuff when you're traveling to do. And you can take a bunch of these with you. Cut a bunch of masks and then just take it with you. And then just stamp them. You know, changing out the colors. Even if you just took, you know, a few flowers and foliages with you, take different colors markers and it would totally change. Be so cute to do this with fall colors too. So now I'm taking some of this green, you know, from in here, and I'm making sure that I've got enough color underneath here and inside. And you can always come back in here. So if you feel like you've got some spaces, you haven't got, you know, color all inside, you can just stamp over it again. It's really easy to do. Stamp right over it. Okay, so now I'm going to put some color onto my palette. This is number 526. So I'm just going to take a little of this color now. Now you can see that the mask lifted a little bit here, but I just pushed it back down again. And then just come back in here and just add some color in here. Some blue, or you could actually use any color in here. You could just brush in a mix of color too. It would just look like there's flowers in the background. So color around here. You want to just make sure that you've got color everywhere. Even if it's the background color, you want to be able to see that. And I can add some in here just to make sure. A little darker in here. And just keep putting this on. So relaxing, so fun. You could add some birds to it too. That would be really cute. Put some little birds on top. Okay, that looks pretty good. So I'm just going to look in here now and make sure that I've got enough green. And I think I'm just going to get a little more green in this area. Make sure that's colored in. Maybe a little bit more in here. Make sure I've got enough green in here. And then just go back over it with my brush. You know, these little cracks. And blue. All around here. Okay, I think we're good. I think we've got plenty of color in here, so let's take this mask off, and we can see our little birdhouse here in the background. Isn't that cute? Birdcage in the background. So now I'm going to add a few little vines in here. Maybe just, you know, just take one like this and just stamp that in here. Maybe just one up here. And you know, when you're using a stamp, you can just use parts of it. So just take a little, you know, a few little leaves here, and I think I'll just take a couple of these. Maybe just one. Actually, let's do both. And I'm going to turn this because I want to drop this down below. So I'm just going to turn it on my block like this so that it's hanging straight. And let me just ink this again. Some purple. And I think I'll just hang these right down here like that. And then add a little water to them. So it looks like, kind of looks like they're hanging out of there. And then I'm just going to add a little more of this pink, just so that I get a few of these blooms on the outside. Really, that's all you're doing, is you're letting some of these blooms come through to the other side. Okay, so now let's go on to the next step. And you know, with this, the way it is, it's too one-dimensional. We want to see a shadow in here. So remember, with things that are white, we don't ever want to leave them white. And the same thing goes with something like this. We want to put a shadow in here, and that is with a blue. So we're going to take our dark blue. This is number 565. And I'm just going to add a little color to my palette. I'm going to use my tiny brush. Now this is a 1. This is size 1. It's very tiny. And I'm just going to dip this into my blue just a little bit, and I'm going to just follow these lines. Just follow it down like that. This is really fun. And you know why it's so fun is because you really see a difference when you start doing it. See the difference between these two and these now? When you start adding this shadow in here, all of a sudden you've got something that's three-dimensional. And just take your time. Just take your time and do it. It's so fun. You know, and when you get to the center, you're going to do a little bit on both sides. And then you're going to switch. So notice on these two, the shadow here is on this side and on this side. And when you get over to this one, you're going to switch sides and you're going to do it on this side. And just, you know, add a little color. It doesn't have to be perfect. You're just, again, giving the idea of something. Now the die has some lines in here, so you could just put these lines back in, something a little decorative like this. And then as you come down now, so down in here, you want to make that shadow underneath. So there's a little tiny little hole here, and you're going to come over this way. So you're going to make that shadow go down underneath that cage. And you can see how that's just really, really changing. The same with these two. You want to get that shadow underneath. This is just so fun. It's really, really fun. And it really, really changes. Let me just hold this up so you guys can really see that. You see how that shadow really pops things out? It really, really does. And see how that, you want to start on the left-hand side here when you're doing the left. You want to add that shadow here. And then as you go to the center, you want to do it on both sides and then switch sides. Now you've got it on the opposite side here. So let's keep going. We're going to do the same thing again. And we're going to come down along the side. And we're just going to keep coming down along the side. And then we get to the center. We're going to do both sides again. And then in here, we're going to switch. And then just hit this one. Coming down here. Same with these under here. You're going to go underneath. These little decorative and underneath. And then underneath the bottom. And the little feet will have a little shadow under it like this too. I mean, that's it, you guys. There's just nothing to it. Okay, that looks good. Now you can, if you want to, you could take a fine tip like this one. This is my twin tone that I just use it all the time. And maybe make a little line up here like that. So it looks like it's hanging. And then, of course, sign and date, like so. And you've got your little birdcage. It's so fun and so simple to do, just nothing to it. Try it with some different colors. Try it with the fall theme. I think that would be so cute. And then, of course, try it with the birdcage on top. So you can add this now onto here and glue it on. It would look more three-dimensional. Or you could, I bet you could pop it up a little bit too. Just bring it up just a little bit, and you're gonna see that shadow underneath. So your blue lines, you're gonna see those come through. And it's going to create a little shadow back there. So fun to do. Just so fun. And of course, the other one is going to work the exact same way. This one will work the exact same way. Put the mask down, cut your mask, put it down onto your watercolor paper, and then add your blue once you've stamped everything in. You can see I've stamped a few little vines and stuff in here too. So be sure to do that. Once you've taken that mask off, add just a few little things in here, just a few little vines and some flowers coming through the bars, and it's going to make it look much more realistic. Okay, so I'm going to switch my camera back around in case you guys have any questions. for me? Any feedback for me? Okay, I'm back here. Oh, Carol, can't wait for these to come live with me. I'm so glad. You guys, these are so fun to do. I think you're really going to love these. They're really quick. I really, you know what? I also just love seeing what everyone does with things. And I kind of have a vision for it when I make it, but I'm always just blown away by the amazing creative people that are out there and where they take things. I just love it. I love seeing that. So excited to try these. Diane Mason, who's an amazing artist. Love these newbies. Georgia is an amazing artist. Now, Georgia has been all over the country for us. She teaches watercolor. She's an amazing watercolor teacher. We are very thankful to have her. And she's in California, so she's far away from us. But if you get a chance to follow Georgia, you know, I'm sure she's on Facebook. She is an amazing teacher. So talented. So I'm always excited to see what Georgia does with stuff too. So can you stamp over the birdcage? That's a good question. What you can do with that is add the blue line. So you can add the blue lines onto there. So when you go to place this on the top, you can add the blue lines. Now it's pretty thick. So maybe if you use something like a thinner mask paper, you probably could stamp over the top. Yep. Okay, you guys have any more questions for me? Can't wait to see what you do with these. I will be back next week on YouTube. So I'll be going through another project. I mean, it's going to be hard to decide which one to show you guys, but I will be doing another project on YouTube. And then the week following that, live. So every first and third Wednesday is Wednesday Live, which I love. And every second and fourth is YouTube, which I also love. So I love hearing from you. I love hearing your ideas. I love hearing your feedback. It's really, really important to me. So remember, these are in stock. So if you guys get on artimpressions.com, you can get these. They are in stock in the shop. They will be out probably the next day if you get your order in right away. So you will have these in your hands really, really quickly. So I think that's it, you guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for being with me. I love it. I love having you guys with me. I appreciate your feedback so much and your encouragement. We love our people. That's what I feel like you guys are, my people. Love you guys so much. Thank you so, so much for watching, and I will see you on YouTube next week.